Cars, computers, internet, phones. Our world is growing and growing fast. With it grows the demand for speed. People want fast information, fast answers, and even fast food. In this scenario emerges a perfectly fitting technology, genetic modification. With the promise of providing cheap and quick, the foods that are developed from this technique have won markets and reached our homes. According to the USDA, in 2012, 93% of the soy sold in the United States was herbicide tolerant. But what are GMOs? The acronym stands for genetically modified organisms. This is any plant that was genetically engineered or animal that was fed with genetically engineered food. Genetic engineering is a technique that removes a piece of DNA that is responsible for a certain characteristic from one organism and inserts it into the DNA of another organism, transferring a desired quality. Even though genetic engineering was developed in 1982, there are no studies that can give a definite answer to this important question. What will be the long-term effects of GMOs in our world? To answer this question, we must analyze medical and social aspects. According to a study published by Harvard School of Public Health, a genetic modification performed on rice increased the chances of causing an allergic response. The modification of a single gene can cause variations on the overall extension of the DNA. These variations might show up in a small period of time, but it may also take years to become visible. Then, if the food derived from genetic modification has been consumed by many people for many years, a long-term side effect would have disastrous results. And one may ask, if GMOs are still surrounded by uncertainties, why are they in the markets? In the United States, the department responsible for the regulation of GMOs is the FDA, U.S. Food and Drug Administration. They request GMOs, which they call GE, genetically engineered foods, to meet the same requirements as foods that derive from other breeding techniques, like hybridization. But hybridization is a technique that has been present in society for centuries without causing any damage to us, and GMOs were only introduced a couple of decades ago. How can they both be judged by the same criteria? My answer to this question is they can't. Now, GMO industries claim that their researches prove that consuming GMOs cause no negative effects on human health. But how reliable can their studies be considered? Also, if their seeds are reliable, why do they require farmers to sign a contract when purchasing GMO seeds that states that the seeds will not be used for any type of published research unless the results are reviewed and approved by the industry beforehand? There's more. Monsanto uses social issues to support the production of GMOs. It asserts that GMO seeds could be used in poor countries to increase the amount of food produced and add nutrients to basic and cheap food, like rice. However, global data proves that the world today produces more food per inhabitant than ever before. Enough is available to provide 4.3 pounds for every person every day. As much as half of all the food produced in the world, equivalent to 2 billion tons, ends up in waste every year, while 2.6 million children die as a result of hunger-related causes every year. The cause of hunger in the world is not low production, it's misdistribution of what is produced. GMOs are not the solution for hunger and are not well understood enough to be on our tables. The use of short-term studies to predict the possible long-term effects is not enough to certify the safety of consuming GMOs. In order to authorize the cultivation and sale of GM products, precise and reliable studies must be developed by third-party institutions or by the government itself. But to overcome GMO industry's resistance in allowing the use of their seeds in research, the public must intervene. A simple measure such as refusing to consume any product that is not specifically labeled as non-GMO can make a great difference if adopted by many. Plus, regardless of the benefits or disadvantages of GMOs, it is vital that GM products receive specific labels. After all, it is the consumer's right to be informed about the origin of the products they purchase. Correspondingly, it is the consumer's responsibility to search for information and demand solutions. Manifesting, refusing to buy GMOs, valuing organic products, or creating and signing petitions, we must change our reality before it changes us.